Again, I want to thank everyone for joining. For those of you who don't know, I'm Shaquaylin Shedrick, the founder and executive director of She Academy, the reason that we're here today. And so I am going to pass it along to LaShawn. Today should not be long, but again, I want to thank you all for joining us on this Monday.
Well, hello, everybody. Nice to see you all. I see a couple familiar faces, so that's always great. But I'm LaShawn Gordon. I'm the Director of Strategic Initiatives at United Partners of Human Services. And for those of you that know us, and those of you that don't, we are a membership-based coalition. We have about 210 members that are human service and nonprofit agencies that we work with to build capacity and sustainability. She Academy is one of those agencies that we've been working with the last couple of years, and we are super proud of Shaquaylin and all the work that she and the team have done to get the nonprofit where it is. We're at the place in She Academy's journey where we really need to build out a very high functioning board of directors. And I was very excited when she shared with me a little bit about each one of you, because where this program is really, where it's getting ready to go, we really need people that are going to stand shoulder to shoulder and provide that next level of leadership for the program. So you all would serve as the inaugural board. She's been working with an advisory board, advisory council over the last few years, but you all would serve as that inaugural board. And one of the things that's super important about the inaugural board is you all are really going to set the pace for establishing, for being friend raisers and fundraisers. And so we want to continue to increase the visibility of the organization, but we really want to step out there and really, really get our fundraising going in a robust way. And we also want to make sure that as funds come into Leon County Children's Services Council, the CHSP process, United Way, and other dollars, She Academy is in a position to continue to receive those funds and receive grants on a greater level. So one of the things about the board is Shaquaylin will continue to manage the day-to-day operations of the board, and you all will provide oversight and support to the executive director. And so for her, you know, having kind of been on this journey by herself in a lot of ways, it's going to be exciting to have someone to stand shoulder to shoulder with her to continue to fundraise and grow the organization. But on top of that, to really, really define those key performance indicators. And when people ask the question, how do we know She Academy is successful? We want to be able to answer those questions for our key stakeholders. We want to make sure that we're becoming a data-informed program, and we want to make sure that each leg of the program, whether it's after school, whether it's in school, we clearly define what it is that we do. And because of that, that's why we need all of you all. We not only need you, but we need you to also tell somebody else about the great work that this program is doing. One of the unique things about this board is starting out, as we're taking the journey together, we may meet, you know, a little bit more consistently, but ultimately the board will meet quarterly with getting a monthly update from Shaquaylin. How are we doing from a fiscal standpoint? How are we doing from a program standpoint in terms of our census? Do we have any grants that we're writing, that sort of thing? But ultimately, the big work that we're doing together, we'll be doing it on a quarterly basis. And I know that was 3 mouthfuls. I'm very, very passionate about this work, so I can talk about it all day and in my sleep. But do we have any questions or anything that comes up right away for anyone? Awesome. So Shaquaylin is gonna kind of just share a little bit more general information about the program. Um, of course, you all know about the program, but we all know board commitment it's a big commitment, and so want to just kind of put some facts out there for you all. Also, we know everybody's going to say yes, so what she's going to share is going to kind of help you all with your elevator speech as well as you begin to talk about and share the good work of the program with others. So I'm going to take it, send it back over to Quay, and she's going to share her screen.
Alrighty, guys. So like LaShawn, you guys know I'm very passionate about this, and I've probably cried in a meeting or two with some of you, but not tonight. This is just our home. It's a really quick presentation to let you know a little bit more in depth about who we are. So you guys know that we are a 501c3 nonprofit, meaning all donations are tax deductible, and we are classified as a charity with the IRS. Our history: we were founded April 10th of 2019 on the principles of service, honesty, integrity, and passion. Of course, this work has been done years at a time, well before April 10th, but we got all of our paperwork and became official with the state in 2019. You also know our mission is supporting and empowering our girls. It is legit the happiest thing that we can do every single day. And in that, we have our programs. Our vision, of course, is to fill the Tallahassee community. And even once we expand worldwide, nationwide, to just further support these girls and give them the tools that they need to do the great things that we know they can. We operate on the school's calendar. So what that means is while the students are in school, we have our after school program in the fall and the spring. And that happens at our space off of Metropolitan Monday through Thursday from 3 to 6 p.m. And outside of that, our summer program, we just finished our Boss Babe boot camp. And next year, it may or may not look different as far as the time commitment. In addition to our programs, we do love, because of UPHS, we understand the importance of community involvement. So if we are not hosting our own community event, we make it a mission of ours to stay active in the other community events that are set throughout the calendar year. And so down below, you'll see a few photos of our girls in the after school program at Pineview, I believe. We've adopted a road near our office space off of Care Drive, so we clean that road regularly. And FSU Women in Leadership Conference is one of the areas that we plan to show our faces every year moving forward. Some of you may or may not have already volunteered with us at these events or met us at those events or those activities. But outside of that, we do have our regular events that take place. Some of you may or may not know that the Blondie G Spelling Bee was created after the passing of my great grandmother this year. So we hosted it at Rickards High School. Shout out to Coach Hank for being our partner in that. And that is going to be a regular event moving forward. It challenges the students, both male and female, to come together, focus on vocabulary, enhance their dialogue, and just really get them excited about trying something new. And so each and every year, we expect this event to grow bigger and bigger. We had several sponsors this year, so we're excited about next year. April is Founders Month. And so we celebrate that week long. We have different community events. We host our fundraiser. This year, our goal was $5,000. That was a big stretch for She Academy, and we met our goal. So we're very happy about it. And I know once we all get together, we put our minds together, we will go beyond that number in the years coming. So April is Founders Week and Fundraising Month. June is my birthday, June 26th. And so every year we do some sort of service with the community, whether it be packaging care packages for vulnerable populations, cleaning, cooking, serving. This year we served at the homeless shelter. It was an amazing event, and we pulled together lots of organizations to help make that happen. So June will always be community service. October is one of the biggest ways that we market and get our name out. So we participate in the FAMU homecoming parade, and towards the end of the year, the wintertime, we do a food drive as well as a youth coat and toy drive. And so these are our annual events, very regular, something that I'm very passionate about, making sure we show our face in these months collectively. And I have two more slides that just kind of give a little bit more of a background about why the Blondie G Spelling Bee was put together. Here are a few of our judges and participants, and those are our winners. We gave away cash prizes in addition to a lot. So it was probably one of my favorite events. And she's evolving. This was our first time doing a scholarship fundraiser and community luncheon, and it turned out great. These are the women who we recognized, and this is a little bit more about that event. I'm gonna go over to the next slide, which shows many other ways that we encourage those who are interested in volunteering with us, becoming a part, just genuinely wanted to help us out. These are the different ways that you can help us spread the word. You can tell anyone who you think would be a great fit in becoming a board member for certain events and just wanting to support us as far as corporate sponsorships go. We have that on our website. We have those packets readily available, and we're able to answer any questions for anyone volunteering with us for certain events, administrative duties, activities. The voluntary opportunities are endless. You know, this workshops this year in our after school program, we are introducing workshop Wednesdays. And so anyone that you know who may be able to come out and teach our girls a new skill or help them refresh the skills that they may or may not already have, that is always appreciated. Fundraisers are important. You know this. Like LaShawn said, we're looking for fundraisers and fundraisers. And so anyone that you know who may be interested in hosting a fundraiser for us, we welcome them. We have endless registries on Walmart. So office needs, someone is entering. Sorry about that. Office supplies, our food pantry. There was a photo on the third slide, I believe. We have a food pantry in our office for the girls to eat fresh snacks, healthy snacks during the after school program. And so, you know, our girls are picky. We want to give them exactly what they need in order to stay focused. So, endless ways to get involved. And that wraps it up for me. You guys have my contact information, but if you don't, this is my cell phone number, 786-234-2264. Our office is off of Metropolitan, and we all have my email. So I will stop sharing my screen and take any questions if you guys have any.
So one of the things I want to add, as you all are thinking about your yes and all that good stuff is, you heard me mention inaugural board earlier. So one of the things I want to say to you is, what the program really, really needs is that it's people that are going to stick close to the program for the next year, the next 2 years. And so, you know, we understand that with inaugural boards, you know, because you all are busy, you may not be able to be the board member that stays on the board for 4 years or 2 terms, but it's very important as we're making this journey to have people that are really, really going to have the program's best interest at heart. So I wanted to just put that out there, because a lot of times what stop us from committing is, you know, hey, I don't know what the next few years is going to hold. And what I'm saying to you is, don't let that stop you from giving your yes, because once we get things rolling and you all begin to tell people about the great work of the program, we know that we will definitely have more and more people to continue to add to the board. So I just wanted to put that out there.
All righty. So I know I did get a few questions via email and one-on-one individual conversations. Is there anything that we have not cleared or covered that you all may be wondering or wanting to know, gain clarity on this call? Okay. uh, okay, Dr. Johnson, do you all currently
Yes, so I'll answer to that question. Is that me?
Okay, it's off.
Okay, so I'll answer that question. Yes. So we have already worked with Shaquaylin to add board of directors insurance to her current liability insurance policy, which we have a couple of different insurance companies that we work with within the UPHS network. So before you all sign on the dotted line, that will all be in place. Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon. This is Dana. I apologize. I don't have my camera on. I'm in transit, but thank you guys for all this information. I have two questions. Is there a financial commitment that you're looking for each board member to produce or to raise or to contribute? And then also, what is your target number for girls that you're wanting to serve each year or each semester? What's that KPI look like?
Alrighty, so I'll go with the second question first. We go based on our capacity. And so it's no secret that the after school program operates during work hours. So outside of volunteers, which are not required to be in the program, it is myself running that program until we get those placements through the school and universities. So my max is 10 girls in the program. That does not take away from the amount of girls that we can serve in our events. So the way our structure works is we have our solid 10 girls in those programs, and then we open up our capacity in events where we have more volunteers that are hands-on. So for example, like the homeless, the community event that we just did in June, there were several children who were able to receive that info. There were several children and parents who were impacted by the info that we pushed out. And the same thing with the spelling bee. Once we have our meetings with them in advance and we prepare them and we spend time with them, they still receive that service. So that number can go up to 300 and it can be as little as 10 girls. But as far as our programs operate where there is that direct one-on-one with me and them in a group setting, it'll be 10 girls. And as far as, did I answer your second question?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. And as far as the financial contribution goes, it is a $500 financial contribution. That's for everyone until it is voted on, I believe.
So great questions, Dana. It is a $500 give or get, and I know for people who've served on boards before, that it's the give or get. And thank you for mentioning KPIs, because as you heard me talk about outcomes, that's one of the things that the board will be working with Shaquaylin on, to really define those outcomes. And then she will work with the UPHS team through the Power BI to kind of really build out those KPIs a little bit more. And then as the program receives more consistent funding, then, you can really look at the numbers. This is the number of girls we want to serve at our building, but going out into the high schools and the middle schools which they've worked in before, this will be our max number of girls that we can serve, in our community-based programs. So all great stuff for the board to work on.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you both.
Can I ask you a question? Ooh, that's some feedback. Sorry about that. I'd just like to understand how girls enter the program. Is there like a application, and are they guaranteed to stay year after year? How does that work?
Yes, so August 1st is when our application for the after school program open. Now we generally open applications at least 2 to 3 weeks in advance. There are, like I mentioned before, LaShawn mentioned, we did our very first interaction with the girls were at Rickards High School. And so we build relationships with these girls once we go into the schools and, once we engage in community events. So while we're out at at a high school event and we have a table there, and students and their parents take home our flyers, business cards, and brochures, and they have those inquiries. They either, if the application is open, they can pull it from our website, they can email us, we'll give them that application. It is filled on a first come, first served basis. Generally, our girls who are veterans, whether it be for 3 months, 6 months, or a year, they receive that first round of applications, and then we fill based on what's available afterwards. So there will always be an application. It will always be updated. So just because you had an application on file last fall, it doesn't mean that you cannot complete a new application. Each girl will have to complete a new application for every single program just to keep information up to date and accurate. Did I answer your question fully, Debbie? Okay. Do we have any other questions? Destiny, I know we talked for like an hour.
I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Okay.
When are you looking to have this board begin? I know you mentioned quarterly meetings, but what's the actual start date that you're looking at?
So ideally, we would do a board orientation kind of mid-August. Major grant cycles are going to start back up, October the 1st. So, we would do some planning. Bylaws are already in place, but of course, with bringing on the board, we would look from a governance standpoint, what additions we need to make to the bylaws, that sort of thing, and then be ready to go October the 1st, fully functioning. And then, of course, board schedules, you all would work to build out what committees you want to have and that sort of thing. We would, put a plan in place for all of those things.
Alrighty, I see 2 iPhone users. I think I know who they are, but I'm not sure. Do any of our iPhone users have any questions? Coach Hank, you're good. Alrighty. So I'm not seeing any questions in the chat. I think we covered the most important parts. LaShawn, is there anything else that you want to add?
So you all, if you haven't gotten it already, you'll get the board commitment form with a little bit more information. And then once Shaquaylin hears back from all of you all, we'll get together and do a more formal board orientation where we'll go over, things about the program in detail, share our bylaws, I'm saying our bylaws. I feel like I'm a part of all the nonprofits I work with, but share bylaws and all of that good stuff. And then we'll go from there. And so again, tonight was not to take too much of your time. I don't believe in long meetings, especially not on a Monday night, good Lord. But just to kind of talk to you all a little bit and let you know about the direction that we're moving in. So thank you all so much. I look forward to taking the journey with you all. I really, really believe in Shaquaylin and this program. So great things are on the horizon.
Alrighty, guys. Well, again, I thank you so much. This is my baby. This is a huge step for me and She Academy. So myself and our girls, we welcome you guys to our family. We thank you for what you've already done and what we will continue to do. So again, this Zoom is being recorded. I will end it soon. It will be posted to our YouTube page. You will get a link to this recording via email along with that contract. And if there's any information that you wish to share with your network, again, we want to begin orientation mid-August. So we may have a deadline. Okay. Yep, we may have a deadline soon. Let me stop